Adjective. Attended with, caused by, or suffering from such an accumulation of gas. Suffering. Having unsupported pretensions. Inflated and empty. A flatulent style. That's probably going to influence the next decade. Yeah, man, I'm flatulent like that. So I have a story for you that involves farting. Specifically, mine. This is a story that I have never told anybody, so this is like an exclusive for all of you people out there. My farts have signature smells to them. Oh, you don't know what this smell is? Maybe you're one of the lucky ones. My family and some of my closest friends can attest to how terrible and how inhuman some of my flatulence are. That's when I know I've really accomplished something, is when I gag when I fart. My farts are very silent, but they are deadly. Imagine, if you can, 10 horses dead, 10 skunks dead, 10 tauntauns dead and torn open, laying in the field all together, rotting for 10 days and nights. Add a little bit of rotten eggs, and you've got my fart. And that's what this story is all about. I'm sure you're really excited. I used to work at a movie theater in Memphis. What better way to get your career started in filmmaking than in a movie theater? So I go to work. This particular day, I had bad milk or something. I was farting all day. I'm working at the concession stand, so I'm standing there, and while I'm helping everybody, I'm clenching my butt cheeks as hard as I can, making sure nobody has to fall victim to my farts. So it's about break time for me. I go in the back, I get some popcorn with some nacho cheese, and it's a really nice combination. People don't think about it, but, if you don't let the cheese sit on the popcorn too long, it doesn't get soft and moldy, really weird. But if you just take the popcorn, dip it in the nacho cheese, it's not a bad mix. Of course, that was before I stopped liking popcorn. But yeah, I go in the back. Our drain, our little sink that we wash all of our dishes and whatnot, this particular drain has everything going into it. So it's got, the water from the mops. It's got leftover juices, smoothies and shakes, and soda pop, and then popcorn, and all the cheese that goes in. Really nasty combination. So my fart on top of that, just really, in that little area there, we put boxes. We get inventory. This was my break, so I sat down on one of the boxes. Before I sat down, I walked past the drain. Earlier that day, I had heard one of my managers mention how we had a clogged drain in the back. So as I walk past it, I decide, okay, this is the good opportunity to let one rip and then sit down, and it's just going to linger over by the drain. It's kosher. I'm good. Crop dust that little section, and we're good. So I started chomping down on the popcorn and cheese, and then I see my manager walk with some new guy. I think his name was like Frank or something. Frank, the new guy. They walk in, and they're talking. I can hear them say something about drain. And as they pass the drain, Frank stops for a second. His face is priceless. And he says something to the effect of, "Oh my God, what is that?" And I'm just sitting there eating my popcorn with nacho cheese. And my manager stops, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, I kind of smell that too." What I do is I wait until they look at me directly and say, "Kyle, was that you? Oh my gosh, Kyle, was that you?" Then I have to say yes. And I'm okay with that. Because if it wasn't me, I would tell them, "Oh no, you would know if it was me." So if this guy looked at me and he said, "Kyle, was that you?" I have to say yes. Frank, he's like our company plumber. Then he goes a little further and says, "Wow, I think this is a lot worse than I thought." The dude thinks my fart is part of the drain, and he thinks the drain is like 10 times worse than it actually is. So now this guy's calling HQ and saying, "We need backup." And while Frank is on the phone with HQ, I feel another one coming. Except the only problem is, I know this is gonna like even top the one that they're smelling. I waited for the right moment when those two guys left to go talk on the phone and talk details about what they needed to clean this drain that was apparently a graveyard. I decided, no one's walking past here. I got up, I went over to the drain, I lifted one leg. Oh my God. This is the Ganondorf of all farts. So I waited a few seconds to make sure it lingered in that little vicinity, that area. I'm thinking, if they find out it was me, I'm gonna get fired because I didn't say anything. So Frank gets down there, and he takes a whiff, and he's like, oh my god, it's even worse. Nobody wanted to do dishes that night. Who's to blame him? I didn't want to do them either. So every time I had to fart, and every time I did not have a line in front of me, I just walked in a circle. And as I passed the drain, just kind of, this drain is going to get worse and worse as the night goes on, and Frank is just going to hate his job. But by golly, if there was a farting contest to see who could make the worst smelling flatulent, I think I would win. Oh, that was a silent one. That was a silent one.